Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Football RPG. Today we're going to be going over RJ Harvey, the running back out of UCF. He is 5'8", 205 pounds, very, very fast boy, but he's old, redshirted at Virginia, bounced around college football for a little bit. We are going to get into what he is actually going to be for both the 2025 NFL Draft and our Dynasty teams. David, what do your spreadsheets say about RJ Harvey?
So when you look at his box score numbers and more of the traditional stats, there's a lot to like there. Just pure box score, 1,578 rushing yards last year, 6.8 attempts, 22 touchdowns, all the production stuff you like to see. Generally a strong correlation, shows he can handle a high workload. His yards after contact was 3.88, which is fantastic. That's up there with the best of this class. He broke 69, he forced 69 missed tackles. That's about 0.3 missed tackles forced per attempt, another fantastic metric. So if you're looking at stuff like that, there's enough here that suggests he can last in the NFL. He can stick around for a while.
Yep. No, I think there's a lot of things that show that he can handle a bigger workload than people are anticipating. You see 5'8", 205, and you're like, man, is he going to cap out at 10 to 12 touches? Even if he gets the starting job, is he ever going to do more? He can handle a little bit more. I'm going to talk about what I saw in film from RJ Harvey. So we talked about this in our way too early running back rankings. I think he is a big game hunter, and I didn't know if he had the athleticism to back it up. Luckily, he put those concerns to rest at the combine with a 9.07 RAS, a 4.4 40-yard dash, explosive numbers, all of the good things. Look, if he could just take what is in front of him a little bit more, I think we would be talking about him as the RB6, RB7, fairly high in this class. Instead, he's just in that range between RB6 and RB14, where it's a bunch of dudes that you feel good about. Pass catching, he can catch. He's not the most dynamic route runner. This isn't the kind of guy that's you're going to put him, in motion, line him up against a corner, have him run a sluggo and leave the corner in the dust. Like, he's going to catch your check downs. He's going to turn upfield. He's going to get you what is there, not necessarily weaving in and out of traffic. So how do you feel about RJ Harvey's current price in Dynasty? Rookie draft ADP is at the 310, which feels a little low.
That does feel a little low. RJ Harvey, I'd be very interested had he come out last year, just seeing what he could be. But it's a really stacked running back class. Anything can happen during the draft. Right now, it's looking like he's almost certainly going to be a day 3 guy. So we're looking rounds 4, rounds 5, maybe 6 if, he really starts to slide. So he's probably not going to get a starting job. Maybe he'll have the right to compete for one. But again, running back, it's a very injury-prone position. He's a talented guy, much older than anyone would like, which is a big reason why I'm not taking him before the end of the second round. But with running back, so much of it is just having the opportunity. He has the talent to flourish. Can he do it for 5-6 years? Probably not. But if you need a guy that can play for a few weeks while the starter's hurt, or even win the starting job in a weak backfield, yeah, I'm cool taking a 3rd-round pick on someone like that.
Yeah. I've seen people start putting him over the guys like Quinshon Judkins, Caleb Johnson, because they see the speed, they see the counting stats, and they get excited about that. Look, if he didn't come out last year off of a 1,500 yards from scrimmage season in a weak running back class, that probably means the NFL told him you're going to be a day 3 pick. So he took NIL money, went back to school, tried to bolster his draft stock, and then found himself in one of the best running back classes of all time. Probably didn't work out too well for him. So day 3 pick, looking for the right team fit. Let's talk about some team fits. So from the Football Guys Rookie Guide, which is outstanding, they have the Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs, and Denver Broncos. How do you feel about those teams?
Those are all 3 fantastic fits. Of the 3, Denver's probably my most exciting one there. I'd like to see what he can do with that backfield. Sean Payton, whenever he's had a competent running back, they've always been fantasy superstars. He just hasn't really had one of those in Denver. I don't think he's lost his touch per se, as much as it's just Javonte Williams never, ever recovered from his knee injury, which is a shame because he was such a good prospect. But The guy's clearly washed. I don't know what Dallas thinks they're getting there. I'd be interested to see what Harvey could do there.
Well, this is just Audric Estime slander, and I hate it. I like this fit. I know you talked about the Broncos. The Chiefs would make me pretty excited. I worry that the Chiefs bump would drive his ADP way too high. But when you're looking around that running back room there, you have Isaiah Pacheco, who if he ran like a normal human being, no one would like him. But because he stomps on worms every step, everyone's like, oh, tough runner. It's like, yeah, he's a tough runner, but he got 2.5 yards when he should have gotten 8. Like he hit the wrong hole and ran into his guard. Like let's maybe expect a little bit more out of him there. So I think he could be the lightning in a thunder and lightning combo there. He could get way more check down work because the Chiefs have moved towards something like that. It would just be a little more exciting to me. I don't love the Bengals fit. I think if he goes to the Bengals, it's him and Chase Brown, or they're just the same person, but Chase Brown is more athletic. So
yeah, I agree. Bengals are far and away third on my list of those teams.
Yeah. So we talked about his price. We talked about some team fits. We talked about score stuff. Where do you have him ranked in this class right now?
So I think the NFL's pretty much got it right. I'm thinking probably, day 3, one of the back end of the top 10s. His ADP, along with a bunch of other guys, like so much of it's going to depend on landing spot. You bet on talent, but when talent's a tie, you just go for who's got the cleanest path to playing time.
Yep.
We don't know what that is right now. We're recording this ahead of the NFL draft. But my biggest concern with Harvey, aside from all the other stuff, is 24. Even like Mike, you mentioned earlier, people think he's better than Judkins, which I firmly disagree with. But even if like those people are right about it, he's 24. Optimistically, he's got 4 more years left in his tank before he even plays an NFL snap. That's not great. If I'm drafting, I want someone, if I'm using a second-round pick, I want someone who's got a little more longevity in their future than someone who's, frankly, already at what you'd call a midpoint in an NFL career.
I think what's tough is that the age is going to cap the ceiling. So let's say he has the Tyrone Tracy perfect rookie season for a day 3 pick. He's currently the RB26 in startups, and everybody's worried he's going to get replaced. Mm-hmm. You're not going to gain a lot of value with a pick like RJ Harvey. So if he gets to a good landing spot, if you need a guy for a year, if you want to roll the dice on that, I'm excited about that. But if you want to get a guy that can gain value, continue to be a cornerstone for your team for a while to come, maybe don't lean on Harvey. Any closing thoughts on RJ Harvey before we call it a day?
If he goes to the Chiefs, anyone watching this in the future, just backing up the don't get too excited. For every Bucky Irving, like the day 3 guy that looks like, holy crap, this guy's legit, you're far more likely to have a Tyrone Tracy. So right now we're drafting him mid-late 3rd round in dynasty drafts. That's a good place to be. Don't go into the 2nd for him. Yep.
And for every Tyrone Tracy, there's then 100 Tyrion Davis prices. So
yeah. Isaiah,
thanks for listening. I said, oof, that you just drew blood with me. But
yeah,
for listening, everybody.
I think he went out the Olave year. I'm sorry, one last story. I think he went out the Olave year, and I drafted Olave 1 pick after Spiller went. So yeah, don't do that,
brother. All right, draft first round receivers before day 3 running backs. And if you're still listening and you haven't subscribed yet, you should subscribe, because if you don't, that makes me sad. If you enjoyed it, send it to your mom. If you didn't enjoy it, send it to your dad. And I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Football RPG Podcast. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to check out written content, head over to lastwordonsports.com.
Don't let the goblins get you.